Hey, I'm just going to do something that my mate Frank does quite a lot for the games that he runs, which is a very quick and simple walkthrough of what's enabled by Herve Darritchon, and I apologise for the pronunciation, who has created the non-official The One Ring Second Edition package for Foundry. Really just going to focus on character sheets and items. And that's really all I need to do. The combat is sort of self-explanatory. I will look at skill rolling as well, and I may look at how you create a magic item. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with the basics. So we're going to go to a character sheet. I'm just going to open up Roven Doll, who is a character that one of my players is using. So pretty much exactly as you'd expect. I'm using tokenizer, so when I click on the token, you'll get that sort of tokenizer view, but that's not part of Herve's work. That is just the tokenizer module. You've got age and title, fellowship focus if they have one. None of my players have one. You put your wisdom and your valor in here. You have your culture. Drop down for things like standard of living, drop down for things like calling. Obviously you type in your cultural blessing, which is mostly mechanical. You put your stats in the little boxes. The target number is auto-calculated. There's a setting in the module settings that you set up which determines whether you're using 20 or 18. I'm using 20, so these are auto-calculating from that. Skills are per. The diamonds, underlining means that that skill is favored. If I click on a skill name with a left click and holding the Alt key down, I get to make that a favored skill. If I do the same thing, I reverse that. To increase a skill by 1 dot when you spend your experience points, your skill points rather, you click on the Alt key and the left click again. To remove that diamond, it's Shift Alt click. Very annoying when you're trying to work that out. So Shift, Alt, and click will reduce a skill. Alt and click will increase a skill. Just while we're here, if you click on a skill, you get this to make a roll. You get this. You can see already knows what the target number is tied to. I can determine whether it's weary if I haven't already applied weary as a status to my character. This is a favored skill, so it's giving me that additional feat dice. If I'm spending hope, I can just click on the dice, the additional success dice. If a companion is also spending hope, and if I'm inspired, I can click on all three, and then of course the GM can determine whether I need to apply penalty or bonus dice in addition to that. I don't use the penalty bonus dice value, not sure if that's necessary. But if I now hit roll, what I should see is noting that I have 4 in awareness already, and it's already favored, but I will roll 7 dice. I should roll 7 dice, which might take a moment. Waiting for assets. Yep, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 2 feat dice. All of that appears in the chat over here, and if I click on that little window there, I can see exactly what I rolled, so I can see exactly the dice that I rolled. It's quite cool. It's a really nice implementation. A couple of really clear things. One, almost everything is drop and drag, so you've got to create them as items first. So distinctive features and flaws, rewards, virtues, equipment, weapons, armor must all be created as items using the item channel over here. And if I just go to any one of those, let's go to equipment. You've got armor. I can drop and drag this coat of mail onto this character sheet, and what you will see is down the bottom that coat of mail has now appeared with all of the stats. If I activate it, what we should see happen is, hopefully, if I go back to, oh sorry, I've gone too far, I'm missing it. Yep, so it takes the best of my coat of mail defense, and you can see I've got 4 dice worth of defense there now. My parry number is 17, which is, once again, I just enter it because it's culturally based. However, if I add a shield to the character and then equip it, let's put a great shield on because it's funny. For this elf, it's particularly funny, and then I equip that as well. what you'll see is my parry score is now going to be 20. So when something rolls against this elf, they're going to be targeting a target number of 20, not a target number of 17. Okay, so now let's get rid of both of those. To get rid of both of those, I tend to hit the Alt key and the left click, and that will allow me to delete them. You noticed I hit the little bucket there. So that takes things off. Down the bottom I've got my fellowship, which is what the character's fellowship is. I have my current skill points and what my total is. I have my, oh, that's worrying. Adventure points is meant to be much greater than 3. Not sure what's happened there. And I have my current and remaining adventure points, and I have my current treasure. All of these other things are literally just notes that I can apply. So that's the character sheet. That's how skill rolling works. If I want to roll Valor, same story. I just click on the name Valor. If I want to roll for some, if I want to rest, I can either short rest or prolonged rest. If I hit short rest, I can determine whether I want to use up, like get some hope back. If I do a prolonged rest, it will do that, but it will also allow me to recover my endurance should I be down it. And actually we can see that pop up. So short rest and long rest appear in the chat box. It's kind of cool. You can also see, just to make the point, I put my hope here and my current max hope here, so they're just auto calculated. The character currently has fatigue, and that's where I put my endurance. I've got my temporary shadow and my current shadow worked out, and I can, with an alt click, alt left click, I can activate the fact that I am weary. If I am weary, just for fun and giggles, if I roll my insight, you'll note that that box has come up now as weary, so it's automatically inheriting that. And when I roll, it will discount anything I roll that's less than 1 to 3, and in that case I didn't roll anything that was less than a 1 to 3, so let's do that again. And let's give the character, you know, as many of those as we want. And note that the hope is auto-calculating down at the same time. I hope you noticed that. So that went down to 9 because I'd clicked that I was actually using hope. I failed, and the reason I failed, you can see that the 1s, the 3s and the 2s did not get counted out of the success dice, so I only got that 6 that I rolled. None of those other dice applied. It's very cool. Now I need to give Rob his character back his 2 hope that I accidentally used up on his character sheet. Sorry about that, Rob. There we are, and I also need to undo that weariness, so I'll just Alt and left click again, and it goes away, and you'll notice I can also be wounded, poisoned, or miserable. So that's the character sheet. The other character sheet that we care about is actually the party or the fellowship character sheet. This is where I put the fellowship points, and when I did that rest and it came up and it told me that I had some fellowship left, that's where it comes in. It's drop and drag, so to add a character or to remove a character. So I can bin Dumbo for a second. Let's bin Dumbo. Dumbo, by the way, nothing personal, just one of mine. Don't forget the Alt key when you're doing it. But if I re-add Dumbo, I just drop and drag them into that, and they will now have on their character sheet that when they rest, they'll be able to draw upon it. You can also see that I've already applied most of these guys to their different roles. So you've got Guide, Hunters, Scouts, and Explorers. I can add Dumbo into that field, and there will now be 2 of them. When I roll, Dumbo only has 1 feat dice because I don't think Dumbo's got any skills at all. And I can change that around. I can actually move Dumbo around. I can put Eorith back in. Thanks very much for asking. Looks like you can, oh that's right, you can only have 1 guide, that's why. Trying to work out why it keeps on doing that. There you go. So Eorith, if I roll 16, target number 2 and 2, right? So pretty good. Works super well. So that's how the party works. And then you've got items. The only thing I wanted to show you in items very quickly is if I create a weapon. Let's create a weapon for fun and giggles, and let's call it Stabby the Sword. Stabby, and let's make sure we choose the right drop down. It is a weapon. When Stabby the Sword appears in the weapons list, which it will, I can give it the usual stats, so I can say this is a 6 damage weapon with an injury value of 14. I can say it has a load of 3. I can choose what weapon group it belongs to. I can say it's an axe. Okay, probably a little ridiculous. What's interesting is some of those special effects you can get, I can actually add in. So go to the effects tab, and then you can edit it like this. You've got your details, so I can give it like an aura or something like that. I haven't used these really. I can say that the effect is a duration, but actually what's most interesting to me is in here, I can choose what it does. So it might be that it decreases your strength, your heart, your wits target number. It might increase your shield parry, armor protection. It might increase heavy blow damage. It might do a weapon's piercing blow. It might allow for range damage. It might increase or give a grant of hope, or it might increase max hope. And any one of those, when I do them, can be applied to the character. And a matter of fact, if we, I think it was here, yeah, transfer to actor. So if it's added in and it's transferred to actor, then I can do that. And I can also unsuspend the effect. So that's pretty much how you create all of those enhancements for your weapons. It's really good to work through. And I think that's about it. So I think I made the point. Just remember that everything is drop and drag. So, well, anything in these boxes down here is drop and drag, right? Which means you need to create them as an item first. Please don't forget. I kept on forgetting and wondering why I couldn't do it, and that's what I worked out. All right, thanks very much. Okay, bye.